Taylor Harris Insurance Services, your equine insurance specialists offering products developed from both the London and US markets. This is knowledgeable equestrians serving equestrians. This is a tradition of excellence. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes from working with our reputable agents and experienced staff. Taylor Harris Insurance Services, trusted providers across all disciplines, raising the bar and setting the standards to meet all of your equine insurance needs.
Paying attention to the smallest detail. Getting to the destination the most efficient way possible. Ensuring all individual elements are working together to drive high performance. And making sure you do it consistently. Being the best comes down to perfect execution. That's not just good show jumping. That's good railroading. We love a sport that rewards precision.
Our philosophy has always been, if we take care of the horse will take care of us.
We're here for all horses.
Our goal is to do what's best for the horse, period.
And we have lots of specialists which work together as a team.
Our egos are not important, and we consult with each other, help each other out where needed.
We have the cutting-edge technology that's available today.
Every horse is so important to us. Whatever we do what's best for the horse.
The expertise resides here. It's exciting to see what we've learned in the past 30 years, and it's very exciting to think about where it's going to go in the next 30 years.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good afternoon and welcome. Here it is, of course, day 2 of the inaugural Wellington Masters 2016. And we are making our final preparations to get underway with this $50,000 International Meter 60 competition. Alan Wade, of course, your course designer from Ireland, providing some great tracks already here this weekend. And having a look at what he's got in store for this competition, it's a total of 12 numbered obstacles and 15 jumping efforts. Starting over the Hollow Creek Oxer at fence number 1 and finishing right down in front of us at the World Club uprights at fence number 12. Now, the distance between the start and finish line has been measured at 405 metres, and that means a time allowed set here of 70 seconds. It is a jump-off competition, so any equality after round 1 will guarantee 1 jump-off against the clock. The very best of luck to each and every one of them. Another strong field here with just a touch under 60 advertised to start here this afternoon. We're around about a minute or two away and we'll be starting with that $50,000 international competition here on day 2. Well, we are set and we are ready to go here. $50,000 prize funds, and it is...
I want to welcome everyone here to Wellington, Florida. We have the Wellington Masters 3SI 3-star. Got a beautiful afternoon here, beautiful weather. Footing looks ideal. We've got our first horse in the ring. This is Avita. Wesley Newland's riding, owned by her family's Westland Farms. This is a horse with a lot of experience. Formerly ridden by Daniel Dusser in Germany, so she's going to start us off here. Looks like a nice track, a couple testy combinations here, but we've got a 57 in the lineup. I'm Jimmy Toronto. I'll be joined here momentarily by Mark Leone. Mark's down at the schooling ring right now, getting his rider ready. She goes number 2, and then soon after that, Mark will head right over here and join me in the booth. Originally, we had this show in this course right next door on the grass. We had a little rain last night, so they decided to move it here to the sand ring. Beautiful conditions here. A little rubber day, but she's still clear. Looks maybe a little bit slow for the time allowed, but going first is always difficult. Got buried up under the number 8 vertical, but got away with it. And here we're coming down the last line. We've got 11AB, Boston Bruins double. Hard drift to the left, but gets away with it. And here clear to the last. First jumping round clear, but again, as I said, I thought she was a little slow, and she does end up with 2-time faults.
Faults recorded for our first to go, Wesley Newland, representing Canada and finishing on 2-time faults.
I think they'll probably monitor the time allowed a little bit, but she was fairly slow, I thought. I think get to watch 2 more riders, so if I was next in Sloan, I'd maybe step on it just a bit. I thought Wesley was definitely slow. I don't think time is a big factor today. So we have Sloan Coles riding Esprit, owned by the Spring Ledge Group. This is a horse Sloan has been bringing along, jumped some smaller Grand Prix during the summer, and just now recently stepping up to the bigger level classes. Already to me, Sloan looks like she's on a faster pace than Wesley was. Coming here to the Longines double, little rub behind, but it stays up. And then right over here to the Taylor Harris vertical, very delicate jump, and it comes down. And the B element as well. This horse, actually a little bit opposite of Wesley's horse. This horse has a little bit of a right drift, and I think that's what caught up to her there, jumping out of that double. And the CP Liverpool vertical comes down as well, so she's sitting on 12 at this point. And A comes down, little rub on B. So she ends up on the 16, and time was good, as I said.
16 jumping faults there in the first round for Sloan Coles and Esprit, finishing on 16. We head across the pond now as Shane Sweetenham comes forward for the team at Spy Coast Farm, representing Ireland. A 10-year-old stallion by Chaco Blue that he had some top 10 finishes with at the Washington International, then went on to feature in the World Cup in Lexington towards the beginning of November last year. Shane Sweetenham, Jackie Z, Ireland.
Now we have Shane Sweetenham from Ireland riding Chalky Z. This is a very exciting horse. This is a stallion that he's very high on. I think maybe this is a horse for his future. Definitely a championship type horse. Shane has a lot of experience. So again, I think Shane started out a little quicker than our first rider. We saw Sloan Coles comfortable with the time allowed. I just think the first horse in, she was a little cautious, trying to jump a clear. Shane looks like he's thinking time allowed, jumping a beautiful round. Big explosive effort through the Longines double. We have the very delicate skinny. Nice through the double here. And now I've just been joined by Mark Leone, my co-commentator for today. As I said, Mark was down at the gate helping Sloan Coles.
Hi, Jimmy. Wow, what a great day. Good course, great footing. Yeah, Sloan had a good learning experience. Horse was a little up. I think her adrenaline was flowing pretty good today and maybe a little overridden in spots, but a nice course. Time allowed. You know, she was also a little hustled for that time allowed.
Yeah, I think watching the first one go and being so slow and having time fought, Sloan really was on it, and I think maybe hustled just a bit.
Well, a great try, but just one fencing start and 4 jumping faults recorded for Ireland.
Mark, I know you walked the course. I did not get a chance to walk the course. It almost looked like either, I wasn't sure if Shane was late getting to this orange oxer or if he left the stride out. How many strides?
I would say majority will shape a 6 strides. Reverse Liverpool on the bend, 6 to that. Shane opted for the 5 leave out. You know, I think it's horse specific. I think this horse will do fine.
They all should cap towards at the end of last year. That was at the final of the Global Champions Tour. Now over here enjoying the sunshine for the winter, it's Meredith Michaels Beerbaum in Fabergé 17 for Germany.
We opted for 6, and we still were a little aggressive at the Liverpool and had that down. But it's right pretty well.
Yeah, that was a shame. I thought Shane's horse jumped a beautiful round. And again, I think now they are thinking time allowed.
You know, this horse I hadn't seen it much this season yet, and I see it in an elevator bit, the mouthpiece on this horse.
Yeah, that's an old-fashioned elevator. We haven't seen that in many, many years. Back in the old days, a lot of horses.
Jimmy Williams out west, I believe, and that kind of crew came up with this.
Yeah, this is a big explosive jumper. Won a big 5-star here last year under the lights, and I believe second in another big class.
You know, I always thought this bit would maybe impede a horse to jump with the hind end, but this horse has such amazing talent. I guess it doesn't interfere with him.
Yeah, and I think probably if you or I were riding this horse, you know, we're a little stronger, maybe a little heavier. Meredith is so light, and horses just jump for her. I think the mouthpiece probably isn't an issue when you're talking about Meredith's lightweight.
And this horse is just toying and having fun out there today.
And here Meredith's making the turn for the backwards Liverpool. This is the line we were just talking about a minute ago.
Boxed up to 6.
Yeah, she opted for the slow 6. Almost looked like maybe she's going to run out of room, but again, such a talented, explosive horse. And still ends up
well, it is clear for jumping. 1 time fault, though, I'm afraid. That time allowed, of course, set at 70 seconds. And Meredith comes home in 70.70. So 1 time fault there for Meredith Michaels Beerbaum. That is the best we've seen so far, though. And Reed Kessler will be next. The 14-year-old mare with lines including Skippy II and Darko. It is the 14-year-old mare, Solana. Reed Kessler, USA.
Several years, Reed decided to fly over, do a couple shows here. And then I know she's sort of flip-flopping back and forth between here and Europe. So she's got a group there and a group here. And we don't get to see Reed that often over here in the States. I know she bought a farm in Holland, a farm that was owned by Hank Norn originally. So really, she's made that home.
Yeah, she's been on the road a long time, you know, as you said, Europe and in and out of the States. And, you know, but if you want to get to the top in this sport, you've got to, you know, be mobile and active. And, you know, she's really on it. She's been working with Marcus Henning for a bit in Europe. Had a lot of success with Katie Prudent as her coach. Again, a good experience combination here, these two, the chemistry.
You know, she's already done so much in her young career. You talk about, you know, the how she knows this mare Olympic Games at such an early age and working with Katie Prudon all those years. And as you said, now working with Marcus Ending, she's had some of the top trainers already early on in her young career.
And that's important, just, to be willing to learn and get the knowledge. She jumped this well here. Ooh, didn't follow through behind.
Yeah, that was a shame. That actually
such
was
an
a
unlucky
nice
start there.
That was a shame.
70.21, 4 for jumping, 1 for time, so 5 in total there for Reed Kessler and
140 around same situation, hind end, just not following on the vertical, but probably getting a little rust off for the World Cup on Sunday.
Now, last time I saw this combination, they were jumping the World Cup qualifier up at the Royal Windsor Fair and Toronto. Picks up some good placings there. It is Georgina Blimberg that joins us now for the team at Gotham Enterprises with the 12-year-old gelding, Kaleno 3, Georgina Blimberg, USA.
They jump for the big money on Sunday. I believe Sunday they're jumping for 200,000.
Yep, 200. And World Cup points.
Well, here we have one of my favorites. We've got Georgina Bloomberg riding Kalino Z. Georgina, again, as I say all the time, just over the last couple of years, she's taken the sport by storm, represented our country of the U.S. at the Pan Am Games with her top mare, Lily. I know I was talking to McLean after the Pan Ams, and he said she was just a super teammate, very, very professional about it, and she's very serious.
She's really competitive, she's got a good group of horses too, right? It's not just one, but she's getting her act together with a number of horses, and that's what's putting her on the top of the sport. Looks a little fresh in the mouthy and the bridle.
Yeah, I think going to the Longines double got a little funny, and she ended up having to add up, but got away with it. It stayed up. That tall vertical is actually jumping well. It looks like going down towards the schooling area. You'd see it come down more often, but so far it's been jumping well, and that backwards Liverpool comes down.
Almost looks like she took it a little to the left coming off the ground at that reverse Liverpool for 4 faults in front there.
And there's the second one in a row we've seen have 11 beat down. I think over here by the VIP and all the riders standing there, maybe the horses are getting distracted.
Sure. And it's coming home.
So 6 gone so far. We're still looking for our first clear hit. This $50,000 international jumper. It is Jonathan McRae that joins us now. A 12-year-old gelding by Special Lux.
And here we have Special Lux and Jonathan McRae. This is a horse owned by Candy Tribble. This is a big jumper, a horse that can. I think this is a championship type horse. Horse that's got its own style, a little bit like Victor in the old days. Maybe jumps a little inverted, but a big jumper and still finishes out behind.
He had a big win last year. A couple real good results. I know he had a real big win last year and seemed to, as you said, be able to jump the top level of the sport with this horse.
Yeah, and Jonathan originally from Ireland, and maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3. Time is sort of escaping me a little bit, but became American now. So now he represents the United States.
And he's already ridden on teams, and he's a good asset and good rider.
Both John and his wife Chris, as we said about Georgina, and again, great string of horses, great backers, and in the Tribble family, they've got a great group of horses. Oh, got a little stuck there, but gets away with it. Oh, yeah, the horse double pumped and just didn't get across to the back of that oxer.
Not that you're counting strides, but he made one extra. He did like a 10 instead of 9, just lost his impulsion, and she said just didn't get to the back.
Yeah, and I think the horse had all the right instincts. The horse tried to be so careful at A and even so careful off the front rail at B, but he just jumped in there with no momentum.
The 6 should ride kind of normal for him. Looks like the horse is jumping pretty focused now. Get him to the back rail here. You see how he had to use that stick a little bit just to, this horse is hanging up a little bit, but not such a bad thing.
Yeah, that was too bad. He ends up with the full and one for time. Again, I think maybe the time felt, as you said, not that you're really doing a number, but that was definitely the add to that 4AB Longines double.
But I think he finished strong horses ready for Sunday.
And next thing we have our winner from yesterday. We have McLean World riding Double H Carlo Z, horse owned by Double H Farm. This horse is just a real winner. He's I think McLean's using it all 3 days here. And this horse can go and run every day. He's very careful and a horse that he can really use a lot.
I'd almost say this is kind of that traditional Grand Prix horse, almost like maybe with the exception of a high jumper, you're going to win a speed class, you're going to win a high Grand Prix, you can jump Nations Cup. And whatever it does well. And with McLean on the back, these two have enjoyed a great partnership the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's had so many big wins. He won the big $500,000 finale here at the West Circuit. I believe that was just last year.
Yeah. This horse jumped fantastic yesterday in the opening class here at the CSI, and I don't think the World Cup's not on McLean's radar this year, but he wants to be involved with this Grand Prix. And
again, as I said, it is $200,000 on Sunday, so that's nothing to ignore.
Great position, great detail, threw that combination perfectly straight. Got his little on the forehand there, but he willed him over.
Yeah, and we talk about partnerships. McLean's had this horse for years now. He knows every inch of the way. He knows exactly what to expect of this horse. Not a horse that gives you a foot over the jumps. He's very efficient jumper, and he's very clear. And our first clear round.
Got a light rub at B on that Boston Bruins vertical at the B element 11B, but jumped a great round, and McLean will be out to win this jump off.
Yeah, McLean put himself right in position to win back-to-back. Our first clear round, and he's always fast in the jump off. Now we're going to see Beezy Madden riding Vanilla. This is a horse owned by Abigail Wexner. Horse Beezy knows well. She actually rode the mother of this horse in the Olympic Games and has ridden this mare for several years now. Beezy, obviously one of McLean's teammates at 3 Olympic Games.
I was thinking, watching McLean go and now Beezy, you get spoiled. The greatness. These guys are not only the best right now, but some of the greats of all time. And their horsemanship and their style and their chemistry and competitiveness is just...
Yeah, we almost take it for granted. We talk about the riders in Europe and around the world when we talk about a Ludger or, Rodrigo, who now spending a lot of time here. We take for granted that we get to see McLean and Beezy's ride every day of the week here. Oh, a little trouble here. Had the delicate vertical down, and horse got a little away from her down the line, and she had to override, and then the B comes down.
Yeah, she's having to ride this one a little bit. I think that override through the combination cost him B for sure. This is an offspring of, is it Via Volo, a former Grand Prix jumper of Beezy and Allison Robitaille.
Yeah, this definitely being a little bit of a tough ride. It looks like she's losing the rideability, lost the mouth a little bit, and A and B of the Boston Bruins double comes down. So she ends up on 16.
16. And, just as we were talking on the beginning of all of her qualities as a horseman, these rounds once in a blue moon can happen, and yet You know, they'll go back and come right out. The next competition will be at the top. Not such an easy course.
Yeah, for sure. It's testy enough, and I think we got to keep in mind. Yesterday, these horses jumped on the grass, and now they're making a move to the sand arena. So it's a little bit different. The horses are all very experienced riders, but still they just got to adapt to that a little bit.
Well, the ring is beautiful. There's certainly a lot to look at, and it's got a kind of a unique shape and trees and big stands, so it's got all of the elements. And as you said, some of these horses come in here a little bit fresh, a little bit starey. And Alan Way, he sets a great course every time. And
now we have a VDL Wizard and Callan Solom. Callan come along, originally with Carol Thompson. She gave her a lot of horses to ride, really backed her, and she's really made her way and actually had a couple nice wins with this particular horse. I believe she won the Lake Placid Grand Prix just this past summer.
And she jumped very well in some international abroad and some Nations Cup for the team. And she has her eye on the World Cup final. That's a goal of hers, and she's been thinking about that. And I know this is very important. So this is a big show for her. She's right on. I think she has currently now qualified her right in the thick of things.
Yeah, and as you said, I think she probably has a good shot because, as you said, a McLean Ward or maybe some of those other riders, they don't have World Cup on their radar this year. You've got Olympic Games. At some point, you got to set your sight on what's important and, how you're going to use your top horses and how you're going to save your top horses. Horse just trailed the hind end there. Didn't really follow through at all and has 11A down.
Yeah, a little heavy and deep into that one. That was her time. It was 69, okay. So she's in good position for Sunday.
Next up, a partnership we saw at the Pan American Games last summer.
Next then, we're going to see Hector Florentino riding Allergy. This is the horse he rode in the Pan Am Games. Had not had the horse for a long time. He's had a couple different horses at this level over the years. A horse he picked up before the Pan Ams, and I would say a different type for him. This is a big, slower going horse, but scopy and has jumped some nice rounds.
Sure is a different type. I hadn't seen this one, but Hector's no rookie. He's a good rider, and he'll figure that out. He still did the 7 there.
I can't say enough about the facility here, Mark. Not only the 2 rings, the grass field, and this all-weather footing that they've put in, but the VIP, everything about this place. Yeah, it's just an unbelievable venue. I think the Jacobs family needs to be commended. Stadium Jumping and their whole management group has really made up their mind. They're going to run a top-notch event here, and it's everything we expected.
And maybe more. I mean, this horse was jumping very, very careful and just maybe got up under that 5 strides there. Hector's reins are getting along. He's got to hold it together. Got a lucky rub there. Short on the combination in front there.
Yeah, and the last jump as well. So he ends up on 12 plus 1 for time. So he ends up on 13. It kind of looked the whole way around. He really lost the mouth. The horse was dragging him where he didn't really want to be.
Right. Buried in a couple of times. And as you said, there's a subtle grade in this ring here or there, and the course builder's using that very nicely.
Now we have Polytel ridden by Luis Baraben. He's actually got plenty of mileage, plenty of experience. He rode in the Pan Am Games on a mare that he actually sold soon after that to Margie Engel. Margie bought that mare, and she's showing her here on the circuit. But he showed up here in Wellington with a couple of new horses that I had not seen, and, he's right back in the thick of things. I had a hard rub in front and then finished it off behind.
Good effort there.
Beautiful jumps, nice fresh jumps, beautiful Boston Bruins. I believe these are Stevens designs.
Yeah, they're lovely.
Yeah, Steve brought in a whole new set of jumps. They've got one set out on the field and another here in the all-weather ring. So they really didn't have to do a whole lot of work when they decided to move over here to the all-weather ring for today.
And I don't know the age of this horse, but he's doing some nice things out here. And just when I said that, he got it. Looks like a nice jumper. I mean, Luis is giving this horse a real nice ride, and 2 down, 1 time. He gave that horse a really nice ride, did some good things. You just didn't know the age of that one.
We're going to New Zealand next.
Now we have Casper, owned by the Sky Group, ridden by Sean Wardley. Sean, from New Zealand, rides for New Zealand, but really has made Wellington home, and I would say made Lexington, Kentucky home as well. His wife's family has a beautiful farm there in Lexington, Kentucky. Again, they have a gorgeous facility right here in Wellington, Florida. So really has the best of both worlds.
This horse is a little leery of this side of the ring over by the combination where we're sitting. Sharon's got to kind of reassure this horse, but yet also get to the first jump. There he goes. I think Sharon also does some footing. He's quite good at ring footing or design. I know he does some of that work as well, I believe, and is quite good at it and very successful.
Yeah, they have that company, I think it's Wardley Martin, him and his partner Craig Martin. Mm-hmm. They do rings all over the country, really. Yeah. I know they've done one for Peter Pletcher out in Texas.
Yeah, I heard good.
Here in Florida, it's all over the place.
See that horse's shine, what a ride.
Yeah, this side of the tent has this horse a little bit undone.
That's horseback, and good job, Sharon. I mean, really. And this horse has electric carefulness. So got to get it focused down the hill on the vertical.
You know, this whole line is difficult enough to jump when everything's going well, and the way that horse was so dodgy, I thought Sean gave him a heck of a ride there.
Heck of a ride. I mean, and just...
Horse really wants no part of this end of the ring.
Man. He got him in. Light rub on the back.
Now, if I was Sean, I would gallop down to this end of the ring after my round. Let this horse get comfortable before the jump off. That was a super ride.
Wow, great ride.
Yeah, Sean sort of canting around, let the horse sort of settle in, because he's got to come back for the jump off. And
just like you said, Jim, he's getting up to this end and trying to get that horse settled in and just. That horse really jumped well, despite being a little looky jump beautifully.
And we saw part of the husband-wife combination. Now we see Chris McRae riding Wanique WH. Again, another horse owned by her family. Chris had so many nice horses over the years. Even back in the day, they were huge supporters of Leslie Howard. They owned so many horses for Leslie until Chris took over the reins at this level, and she's just had so many great ones. We can't forget.
Right in her Pan Am gold.
Yeah, double gold at the Pan Am Games with Romanovich Take One. Now, obviously, that wasn't the plan to go, but that was a nice little rub at the back rail of fence one, just to maybe get this horse's attention.
Right. Hopefully, she uses that to her advantage. She, as you said, she's got a lot of experience. This should be a well rid to the combination. I think she has Michelle Grubb doing some groundwork with her, which at this level you really need to have eyes on you and feedback from the ground, as well as probably her husband, who's, as you said, a top international rider as well. Let's just keep moving a little bit with the time, I think.
Yeah, I would say she looked fairly prompt. She got on the outside track here, and then she looked in for the 6.
Fighting a little bit.
And time fault. Yeah.
She lost a bit at this end. She just was. But the horse jumped very well. Too bad with that time penalty. Wow.
That was a well-ridden round. I think when she turned the corner here, she sat up and maybe got the time fault here, turning to fence 11 and AB.
I was on to that time fault earlier.
So we have Quentin Judge riding Double H Whiskey Royale, owned by the Double H Farm.
Well, Double H came out yesterday and was, I believe, 1-2 in the class yesterday. McLean and Quentin, and just came out like gangbusters, and McLean got his work done, and now Quentin, it's his turn.
Yeah, and again, Double H Farm and the Harrison family, huge supporters of the sport, big supporters and sponsors for McLean and Quentin. So many top horses. Quentin also.
And the sport of show jumping.
Yeah, the sport of show jumping in itself. But Quentin's got his top horse, Copen Z, which I think we might be seeing later on in the lineup, if I'm not mistaken. But maybe, I'm not sure if I see him on the start list or not.
But he did jump yesterday. And I believe in order to jump in the World Cup, you'll have to do a class during the week, so that horse would be qualified if they wanted to.
Yeah, maybe that's the plan. Maybe show this one today and save that horse for the World Cup.
That's this kicking out, but...
Yeah, that 4 can get a little easy, and I think with this horse, it's such a big moving horse. I think maybe got a little closer to the double than he wanted to.
See if he does the 5 here. Yeah, there it is. That, for a big mover, that's certainly a nice option. But we've seen more 6s on that line. Overridden coming off the ground.
Yeah, so he ends up on the 8. Good with the time, but the last double, maybe rode in a little strong and lost the shape at B, but that did stay up, so he ends up on the 8. So McLean's looking good at this point. And now we have a rider that's been very hot. We have Paracellin riding Adair. She owns this horse herself, with her family, of course. But just a beautiful round this past Saturday night under the lights in the 3-star over at the other facility. She's had some nice results over the summer. She really has come along. She's been working with Lauren Huff, several trainers over the years. And
she's dedicated herself to the sport and really, just had been in and out of Europe and America and is putting the time in. And, the round last week was a very polished, excellent round, and seems to have good horses. Put a nice bend in that 7. She rode that beautiful.
Oh, that was a shame. Has the back pole with the front feet.
Really came in the way she liked, and the horse jumped in well and jumped out. I think she just needed to, maybe jumping up toward that end, which is a little bit, in the far end, just needed to be a bit stronger. Is this a horse she's had for a bit, or is this?
Yeah, she had this horse. Lauren showed this horse plenty as well for Paris, and really has become her main horse. Got a little buried here, but gets away with it.
Jumped off great off that front rail.
And also with the time fault. She has the 4 faults and 1 for time, so she ends up on the 5.
Right,
Alan Wade pegged a great time allowed. As I say, he kept his course in and around the 150 range, 155 verticals. But his time allowed, I think, is fair, but a part of this course. Everybody seems to be just a nickel's worth off.
Yeah, Alan, one of the best course designers we get to see over here. I know he does several shows in the States now, and I know one of the favorites of all the riders. Now we have Peter Lutz riding Robin de Pontoise. This horse owned by Michael Meller and his group. Some great results. This horse won the World Cup qualifier in Las Vegas back in November and had some great results. Had some nice placings at the Central Park Horse Show. This horse originally came from McLean Ward. He bought this horse. Oh, that was a shame. Maybe got there a little bit too early and went to add up at the last minute, but the horse got a little inverted off the ground and had that down.
Now that front end woke up, that, as you said, might have got a little bit buried up on it, maybe took it for granted. A nice little reminder, and as you said, Peter had that great win, and looks like he's been able to take the time as of late into his riding at this level, and done an explosive effort there. Wow.
Yeah, this is a big jumper. I've watched this horse a lot. When I'm down there doing it myself, and when I've been commentating the classes, this is a horse I'm really high on.
A little, as you said, going over by that Bruin combination, a little bit flapping, it's the little breeze, but this horse is really jumping. There's that time penalty again, one down, fence two, but it's a nice wake-up call. That horse had oodles of scope and quality, looked great.
And here we have Experience, our next rider in, going for his 11th Olympic appearance, Ian Miller. Just unheard of for any athlete in any sport to go in that many Olympic Games, and the fact that Ian is staying as fit as he has over so many years, it's just unbelievable what he's accomplished.
Right. I mean, he's evolved with the sport. His greatness, from decade to decade, changing with the sport, winning in the sport, and as you say, his thirst and hunger for it is just incredible. And I know he's, this will be his Olympic mount. Now, he just stayed a little direct and rolled on in 6 strides there.
I got to say, in watching, I've been surprised that I haven't seen riders just step up there and do 6, especially if you've got a big mover. It looks like the 6 is right on the money, and especially at this point in the class, knowing time allowed is a little bit of an issue. I think you just sort of canter up there in 6 and set the tone.
Master through the combination.
Yeah, and speaking of Master, I believe Ian did win the Masters
yes.
About a year and a half ago. He won way back in the day when he had Big Ben, and I know Ian said after that he didn't really have the horse. He never thought he'd win that class again, and so many years later came back, and as you said, he's really evolved with the sport, and a little close here. Just a beautiful round. He hasn't lost a step over the years.
And it's right, the detail, he was happy with that. You're not going to give this to McLean.
He was comfortably under the time allowed, 3.5 seconds under the time. He showed the youngsters time is not a factor. And one of Ian's teammates. Now we're going to see Chris Sorensen riding Bobby. This is a horse that Chris has had for many years. He's brought him along. Got just an unbelievable opportunity to represent his country of Canada. Big events last year. I know that was a thrill for him. To not only represent your country, but to ride alongside the greats of Ian Miller and Eric Lamaze. That's got to be exciting in itself.
Yeah, you're right. He just did the short 7 again. It seems like you just say line it up, get it. So, Chris will have to think about the time allowed. With a horse like this, right off the bat, I'm saying he's got to be thinking about the time.
Yeah, and I think the riders to come, the fact that Ian showed it to you, knowing so many riders have had time faults, but then Ian came right in and he showed it to you. If there was a question or doubt, at least you say to yourself, oh, wow, Ian just walked right up there in 6. Okay, it's doable. We see Ian on the far end of the ring paying close attention to this round. As I said, one of his teammates.
Very, very consistent round. Horse is jumping well. Again, he looks a little...
I would say he looks slow. There's nowhere that he oh, that was a shame. And he does the add here. Wide here to this double.
Looks like he's not thinking about it at this point.
Yeah, so he ends up 4 and the time fault. So he ends up on 5.
Horse jumped real well, just hit in front on that reverse Liverpool, but really jumped well.
Yeah, I think that for sure. I think Alan said that there for a reason. I think a backwards Liverpool set on the backside of that vertical is always difficult to jump. Here we have now Katie Dinan riding Nougat Devil A. We haven't seen this horse a lot. Had a little injury, took some time off. Just recently jumped some smaller classes. As we know, just a unbelievable horse. It's a horse that McLean Ward picked out for her when she rode with him, and had some tremendous wins with this horse.
Great, and this is an explosive horse. It's good to see this horse back, because this is a really good combination. Katie and Nougat, and she said just getting back going in this game again. It's a little time out. It's got to get out and do it a little bit. And I'm sure Katie's happy to have this one back.
She spent so many years working with McLean Ward, and now maybe a year and a half or so ago, she started working with Biot Manley.
And I know she was also might have graduated from Harvard at this juncture, so she had a very busy schedule. Get up to it a little bit there. Heard her cluck a little bit. Horse just pings off the ground. It's such a... wow.
Yeah, this horse, I say, I mean, he really knows where the jumps are. He knows where the poles are. Not explosive behind, but knows just what to do.
And this horse is naturally fast, so Katie's doing well on the times. Hold the horse straight. Right, I mean, her horse is more blood under the time,
yep.
Clear round.
So now we've got 3 in the jump off. We've got McLean, we've got Ian, and now we've got a lady rider.
Oh, we also have Sharn as well.
And Sean Worley, forgot about Sharn.
That was nice to see. That pair looks good. Look how happy Katie is with that round. That horse jumped really well. And I said, that's been a top horse, and so got to be a relief to have that horse back in her string. Artist 30.
Yeah, we have Alberto Machan riding for Alon Furter Stables. Just recently took over the ride on these horses. He's done a super job so far. Right off the bat, he won the Meter 50 Classic week 1 of WEF on a horse he didn't know at all. That horse Warren, and Alon has set him up here with a strong group of horses. He's got Zardes, he's got Warren, as I said, he's got Baronez, and the list just goes on and on.
Right, I mean, he's a hired gun, like almost a free agent. He was working in Europe.
He was working for Poncharomo, La Silla.
So, these are, free agents out there, and he's no stranger to quality horses and top competition. So, Alon knew the great combination jump there. Wow.
Yeah, that
wonderful.
That was about as well as I've seen any horse jump that double.
But, these are good top of the sport.
Oops.
Grabbed himself there a little bit, coming after the combination.
Yeah, I would say he looks a little slow as well.
You know, just as you said, it looks like he's thinking about it there. He's just at
Yeah, I mean, he cut the turn here. He thought about it. He knows he's close. That was a shame.
Too bad. But you're right, man. Little adjustment.
And still didn't make it. You know, I think he realized he was a little slow. The horse was holding off, especially in the combinations, way up over 4AB. Again, this combination got a little sticky, and he decided he needed to make up time to that last double and just didn't finish out behind.
That horse jumped well for him, though, right? I mean, that horse jumped so well.
Now we have Entre Nous, owned by Equestrian Farms LLC, ridden by Lauren Tisbo. This is a super horse, very careful. I say an efficient jumper, not a horse that jumps way up over the jumps, but jumps a lot of clear rounds. Lauren has become very seasoned. She's got a lot of experience, shown all over, spent a lot of time in Spruce Meadow over the summers for the last several years, and really has had great horses over the years.
Right, you know, like you said, everybody that's stepping into this ring, the dedication, the time, the commitment, and Lauren, you know, as we talked about Paris, a lot of these riders, they're hungry for it. You know, they're out there working hard, competing, and getting to the international level of this sport, which is, you know, so very, very strong and competitive.
Yeah, Mark, you and I we're old timers. We're still fighting and digging, looking for those sponsors and those owners. We're the old timers now.
Oh yeah, these are kids. I think she's probably in her 20s. But you said this horse really jumping nice.
Yeah, great ride through the double.
What do you think on the time? This horse has enough blood. Looks like she's carrying enough.
Yeah, I would say Lauren is not normally one to have a time fault. She's normally on it pretty good.
Right, you've got to be at this turn after this 6-stride line at 60 to be able to.
Yeah, she needs to be thinking, get right over there. I think she's
just done.
Just. Yeah, I think she's going to be okay.
Oh boy, that horse jumped great.
Oh!
Okay.
Yeah, it looked like a time fault. The timer did not stop. That was a little scary because for sure it looked like she was okay.
That was a great round. Wonderful ride for Lauren. The horse jumped outstanding.
Yeah, I agree.
The time, but outstanding ride and jump.
Here we have Auckland de L'Enclos, Luke D. riding for the Ashland Stables. Horse I'm not too familiar with. Saw him for the first time last week. Still opting for the slow 7 there. For sure this is a slow going type. I think after this double, he needs to be thinking time allowed.
Right there, he moves away a bit. That's a delicate, skinny, tucked up there. You know, you do have to take a little focus on that. Very efficient there.
Looked like he was thinking 5 strides before he actually left the ground at the backwards Liverpool, and maybe that's what cost him that rail.
Right. Is Sharon Wardley helping this?
You know, I'm not sure. I see that this is owned by the Ashland Group, but I'm not sure who if
under the time, 4 faults. Good round for Luke.
And we have our next combination in. We have Cheyenne the third Z ridden by Letitia Dekudik. This is our Swiss rider. I believe this is maybe the first time she's come over to the Wellington circuit. Seems to be really enjoying it here. I know working a little bit with Elon Furter. Still, Ian's the only one that we've seen just step right up there in 6.
We've got such a great view of that. But she rode that really well. That combination horse looks focused, maybe a little wide in those turns, but still jumping well. Threw her body a bit.
Yeah, unfortunately she overrode that. She overrode, she kind of went at it, and she gave a strong cluck. The minute she clucked, the horse really jumped at it. I thought she jumped in so well. She needed to trust a little bit.
Still. Yep. We got a great seat now. We know everything from here. But horse jumping well. Okay, she's slow on the time.
Just one time, 72.04, so a little bit over that time of light as well.
That looks like a super horse, I have to say. I don't know it that well. I saw it jump one day over at the showgrounds, but just a super jumper.
I would say that's a mistake in that combination, maybe knowing how well she jumped in. Next time she'll sit up and keep a feel, but horse jumped really well.
Now we're going to see Brianda, ridden by Allie Wolf. This is owned by her family. I think another rider, you spoke earlier of Chris McRae working with Michelle Grubb. Allie's worked with Michelle for many years. They've really got a good relationship.
Oh, she came on like gangbusters. She jumped some great clears for the U.S., I believe, in some Nations Cup last year, stepping up onto the big tour. And as you said, Michelle and her are good partnership, and they seem to, like all of these exhibitors, just getting better and better. And Allie's got a good head on her shoulders. Kind of a nice calm demeanor to her ride. Really shied off the crowd and stands on this side, but she nursed it back over really well without interfering with the jump. She have to get this horse a little bit up off this reverse Liverpool. Okay.
Very careful. She was up underneath that. Well ridden, but definitely a little deep, and horse really responded.
Short five. Wow.
And
under the time of
yep,
the gouge.
another clear.
Great round. It's so nice to see all these young girls. I mean, they're just riding great and horses.
Samuel Perot comes forward next, the horse that was produced in Belgium by a few riders, including Pierre Devos.
Now we have Samuel Perot riding Couscous Van Orty. He's coming off of a great year. He ended up the indoor circuit. He showed in California. I believe won a World Cup qualifier there with a lot of other results. He's a strong, aggressive rider, very fast.
I couldn't follow. This guy was all over the place. He was way out west. He's a traveler.
Yeah, he had a fast truck and trailer this past fall. He was all over the place. I'm guessing that maybe World Cup is on his radar because he did go out there and jump some of those World Cups.
And he have an eligible shot for the Olympic Games because he's Had some very good results.
You know, that's a good question. I know he has been to, you know, championships. He's Pan Ams. I mean, he's been there for his country. So that's a very good question. I'm not sure what kind of spots they have for the games. That was too bad. The horse jumped, and when it left the ground, it looked really solid. Just cut down behind.
And he always pops up with really good horses, this gentleman. In every year you see him, you know, with some very good jumping horses, but he's a top-class jockey, this guy. Right, I mean, making it work when it's not perfect.
Oh, he's a fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, that was too bad. He almost, from here, it looked like he almost overstudied the last 5. Good on the time, and he ends up with 8. And now we have the hometown favorite here. We're here at the Deer Ridge Farm, owned by the Jacobs family. And now we have Charlie Jacobs here riding Flaming Star. Very involved in the Boston Bruins organization, owned by his family. So Charlie stays very busy. He back and forth, flying here and there between riding and running that organization. He's got a lot on his plate.
Plus a wife and kids. But yeah, hats off to Charlie and the family. And this is a great venue, exciting inaugural event. And I know Charlie really wants to do well. You know, Charlie's, despite, you know, his busy schedule, he's able to find time to, well, he's fit as a fiddle, and he rides with a lot of passion, and he's had some great results. And he's been working with Max Samaya and had some really great international accolades.
Yeah, unfortunately, right off the bat, he's got fence 2 now. It looked like he was really setting it up, and he just got there, and I thought very quick with his upper body and jumped right into the top rail.
Yeah, looks like the adrenaline was flowing, and the horse in the round just kind of punched it right out. Sit up. You know, but this is a strong, seasoned international horse, so they've been a good partnership, these two.
Yeah, I think he's represented the team on this horse. It's shown all over Spruce Meadows, Europe, Argentina.
Too bad a 4-fall round under the time.
Yeah, that was too bad. Just the early rail and then jumped around there quite nicely.
You know, we saw another horse, I think, that punched out number 2 a bit and then jumped a beautiful round. And I think, as you said, maybe the adrenaline was flowing, got there maybe a little early. The rhythm was a bit fast, but it really sharpened up. Jumped well.
And here we have Reed Kessler back again on her second mount. This is Legist, a horse she knows well. I believe she's had this horse since she was a junior, rode this horse in some junior events, and won some big club. We talk about McLean and Carlos, how you could use the horse for sort of any type of event. This is the same idea. She's ridden this horse, again, as I said, as a junior, speed classes, Grand Prix classes. It's done a little bit of everything.
Nobody's listening. There's a potential of this.
Yeah, and she totally ran out of room in the 7. You know, if you're going to do the 7, I thought she needed to put a little more bend, a little more shape. Looks like she's calling it a day. She only had 1 down, but
yeah, it looks like a VW. I don't think she's thrilled with that.
Yeah, she had the second jump down, and the horse gave an awkward jump at the next jump for sure. It sort of stuck a little bit, maybe double clutch over the oxer, and we decided to call it a day. Here we have Big Red and Richard Spooner. This is a new ride for him, but this is a horse that was second in the $1 Million Grand Prix in Saugerties, New York over the summer. And
Richard's high on this horse, and these
yeah,
owners.
I know many people are very high on this horse. I don't know it that well. I actually did commentate the Socrates class, and that was the first time I got to see the horse. It's owned by the Pascals, I believe.
But you know, Richard is such a great horseman, and his ability to adapt to a horse's competitiveness. You know, he'll be figuring this horse out. Light rub there on the first one. But you're right, that 7's a bit of a you know, you got to really plan it and make it work, that opening line.
Yeah, and again, I did not get to walk the course, and I'm riding it. They're riding, and I'm not. But it just from our angle, from our view where we are, the 7 almost looks like work. It looks like if you go down and you line it up, it looks like the 6 is sort of staring you in the face. But you know, these riders are very experienced,
Big
and
jump,
for some reason
big red
they're
jump,
not
right.
believing in it.
I mean, the successes that Richard's had here and abroad, with all his great horses, you know, he's looking for that next Cristallo, and this horse is, you know, seems to have a lot of quality. And Richard's just amazing, his skill.
Ooh, very awkward jumping in. The horse tried to be very, very careful. He rode in strong and twisted pretty hard, but comes off with a clear.
Great round.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to drag the ring, and we'll be back with you for the second half.
Well, as we do some work on the surface, we take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors here at the Wellington Masters for 2016. Our title sponsor, of course, is CP. CP Wellington Masters and Canadian Pacific is a transcontinental railway in Canada and the United States with direct links to 8 major ports. CP provides North American customers a competitive rail service with access to key markets in every corner of the globe. If you want any more information, you can visit cpr.ca to see CP's rail advantages and to learn more about its other community investment initiatives. Taylor Harris Insurance Services, also a proud sponsor here at the Wellington Masters, and they're committed to supporting outstanding equestrian events throughout the United States. Again, if you want any more information, you can visit thishorseinsurance.com. And on behalf of Taylor Harris, they'd like to say good luck from all at Taylor Harris Insurance Services. We'll be back in a few minutes then with a conclusion of round 1 and, of course, that exciting jump-off still to come here in the $50,000 international class. So just moments away from picking up the action once again here this afternoon on day 2 of the inaugural Wellington Masters. If you have just joined us, it is a jump-off competition, and it's 7 clears we have at this stage. McLean Ward, Sharon Wardley, Ian Miller, Katie Dynan, Lawrence Isbo, Ali Wolf, and Richard Spooner.
And we're back underway here. For the second half of this class, we got Laura Kraut riding Novell. Had a strong second place finish last Saturday night to Todd Minikis. Laura obviously eyeing up the Rio Olympic Games. And for sure, it's one we have to look at. Laura's a great team member, a fierce competitor. This horse definitely has its own jumping style. Every once in a while, maybe double clutch a little behind, but very careful. Laura just a top rider.
Yeah, this horse jumped well on the grass yesterday. Powered out of that combination real well.
That was a shame. I actually thought Laura set that up. She even jumped in. She said ho. Just jumped right into the B element.
Yeah, just had that in front. She'll come back with a second mount on this Andretti, so she has 2 shots for today.
So she's sitting on 8 at this point. Should be okay on the time. And now another one down. Now she's on 12. And a time fault.
Well, it is 12 for jumping. It is 1 for time, so 13 is the total left.
Now they'll also have to have 1 horse per rider, I believe, on Sunday, so she'll have to decide how the other horse goes, and she'll make her choice.
And Easy Madden comes forward next. This is her second ride, and a fairly new one for her. Some of you may remember Jane Richard Phillips from Switzerland producing this one over the last year or 2. In the hands of Easy Madden these days is the 12-year-old gelding by Cannon Keister.
Next, we're going to watch Beezy Man riding a new mount. This horse named Quister, again owned by Abigail Wexner. And while we watch Beezy's round, McLean Ward has stepped in the booth to join Mark and I. McLean, just a beautiful textbook ride as usual. Coming off of a big win yesterday. I know you very well. I know you're going for two today.
Well, Carlos is a pretty handy little horse. He's naturally fast, and he's also coming off a long rest, so he feels fresh and really thrilled with the way he's going.
I know I heard Mark on the phone. Mark's picking you to go 3 for 3 this weekend. And as we said in the opening, if there's a horse that could do it, that horse could basically run every day. It's not a horse you have to save. It stays careful. Really, the more you get in the ring, the better he gets, it seems like.
Oh, absolutely. He's so careful. He thaws a little bit. We actually like a speed class to start the week just to actually get him down a little bit. He wants to be a bit too high early in the week, so he certainly can handle that. But, it's quite a task. There's a lot of good horse and riders here.
And you know this horse in the ring. This is a horse that Beezy recently acquired. So far, looks like a super mount for her to add to her string.
It looks like a really nice horse. It did some interesting things in Europe with a rider who I would say was maybe a little bit less consistent than Beezy. And it's going to be really nice to see this horse come along with her ride and their program. He looks very careful, and it's going to be another top horse for her.
Yeah, we did really well tonight.
We keep talking about sponsors and backers, and so fortunate for you to have the Harrison family and Double H behind you, and then talking about Beezy with the Wexner family. It's so important to have a strong group of horses, especially nowadays with so many events. That was a shame with the time fall, but beautiful round. But again, as I said, so important to have those sponsors in the Double H and the Harrison family and the Wexner family.
Oh, absolutely. I actually think that time fault with Beezy might, in hindsight, be a nice setup for the Grand Prix. She won't flatten this horse out, who she doesn't know so well, and, probably be very fresh. We can't do this without the people behind us, and that starts with the support staff in the stable stable. You know, Beezy and I are very lucky to have, like I said, the Harrisons and the Wechters, but also, you know, I have the Dole and Sweeney family, Grossman, just a whole group of people behind me, and Beezy also. It's an army behind you, so to speak.
And next in we have Jet Li and Philip de Wandel. This is an interesting horse. This is a horse that he bred. He brought this horse along from scratch, really. Won the Grand Prix the first week down here. And this horse has had some nice results over the last few weeks. Goes his own way, can get a little reach over some of the jumps, but seems to jump a lot of clear rounds.
Took a good piece in one of the WEFs a couple weeks earlier.
Philip brought this horse a few times to school with us. He's from Belgium, here living in the United States now, and has really brought this horse along from the beginning. And like you said, it does some very interesting things, and this is certainly stepping up to a new level for it this season.
McLean, talk a little bit about, I know Mark and I spoke that maybe World Cup wasn't on your radar this year. We've got, you've got Rio and Olympic Games and so much to set up and plan, and horses going to Europe. What is your plan, goals for the rest of the year?
Well, like you said, World Cup's not on the radar. For me, it comes too early in the season. It's not a great time of the year for North America. You know, we're here competing in Florida, and it's really in the middle of that. And when I look forward to later in the summer, there's only one real goal this year, and that's the Olympic Games in Rio. So we're going to stay focused on that. And horses like Carlos are kind of the supporting cast to Azure and Rothschild, and really their role is very important.
Yeah, and we really even haven't seen your what I say your Olympic mount. Double H Azure, just an unbelievable mare. I know, you had Sapphire, which everyone thinks was just unbelievable, and she 2 gold medals and numerous wins all over the world. But this new mare that you have, Azure, which really isn't new anymore, just seems so exciting, and I know you've got high hopes for her.
Absolutely. I'm in awe of the horse, as most people know by now, and so far she's been spectacular, and we haven't brought her out yet. We're going to keep her a little bit under the radar, and again, that goes to what you had said earlier about having people behind you, and to have a string of horses nowadays to compete at the highest level. Because
Excuse me, McLean set the record. Jimmy and I keep talking about the first line, 6 or 7.
Big horse, 6 strides direct down the hill.
I think we've seen only 2 people do 6.
Rodrigo's only the second.
Quentin did it, and
Ian.
Been a couple. Ian did it. There's been a handful. I mean, it's definitely not the most orthodox way to do it. But again, we were just talking about Azure. If I was riding Azure, I'd probably line that up for the time allowed and do that no problem.
That was a late rail.
That was really cheap. The horse looked like he came off the ground solid, beautiful ride, and just a late rail. And
you probably heard us say it was cheap because you can hear it right when you come through the combination over here.
Yeah, that was a shame. Rodrigo, obviously, many accolades. Olympic game, gold medal, World Games gold, 3-time World Cup champion. There really isn't anything he hasn't done. This is a fairly new mount to this level. Maybe a horse that he's thinking for the games. Right now, I think he's a little bit unsure which horse he's going to use for Rio, but for sure we'll see him there. That's hard to take. When a horse jumps like that and you have a round like that and a light rub keeps you out of the jump off, that's a little hard to take.
Absolutely. I really didn't think the horse hit it at all. And, at the end of the year, we hit some hard and they stay up, and we hit some like that and they come down. It probably evens itself out, but it doesn't make it any less painful when maybe the luck doesn't go your way.
McLean, is Sunday 1 horse per rider in the World Cup?
Sunday's 1 horse per rider, 40 riders, so they're going to knock a few out in this qualifier. I think 40 is a great number. I think it's good for the sport. It's entertaining, and I think it's an ideal number for a great competition.
Let's talk about the venue. You were on grass yesterday, sand today. Right call for today, the sand?
I think we had more rain than people realized last night, and expecting rain again tomorrow. So I think they're also trying to think a little bit towards Sunday to give the horses a chance to go in this ring and not go cold turkey in here on Sunday, which is the way the sport is now. You get to feel the venue out earlier in the week and build to the big competition. Now that horse made a good effort there. I didn't think she got in quite the way she wanted, and he powered out.
Yeah, this is Chris's second mount.
It's a short four to that, so you got to kind of sit a little patient.
It's real short, and the Oxford day is big.
Big enough.
You've got to try to angle that skinny. The ones that are getting straight to the Black Taylor Harris vertical are having more trouble with that four. If you can get a nice angle on it and bend back in the four, it certainly works a lot better.
Yeah, both this double and that 11AB combination, we've seen a lot of rails come down, both A and B.
Yeah, I think the Boston Bruins is a big jump. And you go back down the hill. You probably can't tell on the television here, but this ring has quite a significant grade to it. And going down the last line and the first line, you're going downhill, and a couple of the other lines back up the hill. So, and you also have the VIP club and the schooling area behind the last line, and maybe the horses are also getting a little bit distracted.
Yeah, and I think now as the class goes on, we see less people standing around, but early on when you riders had to watch and see how the lines were going to ride, it was very over then. I think for sure the horses were getting a little distracted.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's nice to have a nice old experienced horse.
Next thing we have Margie Engel and her top stallion Royce. This is a horse that was formerly ridden by Lubov Kochetova.
Might be this horse's first start of the year.
Yeah, I haven't seen this horse jump at all down here this winter.
No, I haven't seen him yet either. I think he's just getting going.
Again, a real big scopy jumper.
For the hind end, huh?
Yeah, this is a big explosive jumper.
Looks like Margie's thinking about the time early on.
A horse with this big a stride and a ring like this where you have so many set numbers, it's actually very difficult to make the time because you can't really hustle down the lines, so that's a challenge for a big horse.
To make the call, is she doing 5 or 6 after the backwards Liverpool?
She's going to go 6.
I agree.
Yeah, I think. Well. Yeah, I was just McLean was talking about a big stride, but I think Margie's going to add here and do the 6.
Left drift as well, so this line bends back to the right. So, yeah, she even set it up for it.
And she's got him so well broke. The 6 is not a big deal.
Well, he lost his way there a little bit, just what we were talking about. But he has enough power to jump out of it, and he's going to make the time no problem.
Oh, hard rub on the last, but it does stay.
Yeah, you need a little luck, like we just said. At the end of the year, your rubs probably equal out, and it's funny when you have a lucky rub, you don't remember it quite that way. When you have an unlucky rub, it stays with you a while, doesn't it?
And we have another Double H horse here. We've seen Quentin Judge, we've seen McLean Ward, and now we're going to see Maggie McAlery. This is Double H Siska Van Overis. This is a horse, I think Rodrigo rode this horse a little bit. Edwin Alexander had to ride on this horse and took a little time off, had just a very slight injury. And now back here with Maggie. McLean, I think, did you take a ride on this horse as well?
I did for a little while, and Maggie works for Double H Farm now. I'm a big fan of hers and a big supporter. I kind of put these two together, and they were looking to give her, she's a very talented young rider, and looking to give her an opportunity to get into this big division. Like you said, this horse had an injury and come back off the injury, and it was the right fit. Maggie's a real soft rider, very accurate, and getting her feet wet at this level, but I think one of the best up-and-coming riders we have in our country, to be honest with you. This mare has a tendency to want to just cut in a little bit on the left turn. You're going to see she's going to have to deal with that here a little bit in this line. Yeah. She did that really nice.
Really well ridden.
Sat chilly at the vertical, and like I said, I'm a huge fan.
There's that slight angle you're talking on that.
Yeah, she got away with a little rub there because she leaned a little bit at B.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of riders at this double sort of lay on the neck a little bit, and she did. I think in her defense, the mare was so strong behind over the Oxford jumping in. I think it put her up on the neck.
Absolutely, threw her forward a little. You can see she walked the course for me because she had the plan there. Now she just needs to keep it. The mare lands a little bit downhill, so she has to recover quicker. Mare made a good effort there.
Fantastic. Great on the time.
To keep it together. Perfect. Beautiful.
Look out, McLean. She's coming after you.
That's
really nice.
Fan of hers, and you know, involved, and always proud to see her do well.
That horse maybe jumped 11A better than any horse in the class. The effort it made at 11A was impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it goes to, you see a rider like her as, you know, good balance and really a soft touch. You can get a little more out of the horses maybe than another rider.
All right, well, we want to thank McLean for coming over and spending a little time with us. McLean has to go focus, get ready for the jump off, talk to Maggie McAlery, and make sure he doesn't give her the winning routine. So, next in, we have
Wesley Newlands.
Wesley Newlands on Geisha van Orshoff.
You know, Wesley, a Canadian rider, but she spent a good deal of time in Europe and training, and you know, she's made that move from the amateurs to the international level, and she's, you know, got a nice group of horses. And
yeah, and she's been working for the last couple of years with John and BZ Madden. I'm not sure who she's working with these days, but for sure I would imagine she learned a lot from John and BZ.
She's backed up well there.
Maybe just overrode that a little bit.
A little on the time here. I think she's into a time fault here. Well, those combinations, like you said, Jimmy, have been really tough today. Real tough. So Wesley finishes with 9 faults.
And here for Ireland, we have Connor Swell riding Vanessa Mannix's Rubens LS Lacia. I believe Saturday night he maybe ended up 4th or 5th in the Saturday Night Grand Prix. Just a beautiful rider, strong, effective. This is a horse that normally is ridden by Vanessa, and he's taken over the ride just for maybe a couple weeks. I think that's a good plan. You know, he sort of takes over, feels what's going on, feels a horse a little bit, and then Vanessa will get back on. But I think after this week, she gets the ride again.
Yeah, Connor's so talented, and he's really, you know, has a nice group of horses, and he's always in the thick of things. Here's the 6.
Whoa, steadying in 6.
Carries a great flow. Even though this is kind of a slower type of horse, he carries a really nice, even rhythm.
Yeah, and wow, the hind end was
extraordinary.
I would say over the standards. I think this horse being slow, he's a little rub on the delicate skinny. He's really thinking time allowed.
To give that enough attention.
Yeah, I actually thought he did as well. I don't think he ran up under it. I thought he left the horse room, and you know, with that Liverpool on the backside, that becomes so difficult to jump. And well under the time allowed. I'd say that's maybe the slowest horse we've seen in the field, and he was maybe as quick as anybody. Now we're going to see Peter Lutz on his second mount. This is a horse, Retiro, that was ridden by McLean Ward a little bit last year and during the summer. McLean showed this horse at Spruce Meadows. And I think maybe early October, Peter took over the ride on this horse. His group decided to purchase it from McLean. And, as we keep saying, you need sponsors. You need a string of horses. And he had the one horse in Robin, but he really needed the next horse to back it up. And this is a nice horse for him.
I believe it came out of, what was it, Columbia?
This horse was did the Nations Cup in Ocala last year for Columbia. I didn't count, but I think that was 6. It looked like he just sort of flowed right up there.
Always had a good hind end, this horse, and good scope. And, as you said, Peter's had a chance to now work with McLean a bit, planning, strategizing. And, Peter really seems to be in a good place with his riding. He's always had talent, but as I said, he's really seen... Wow! Hubba, hubba.
Holy moly, this horse is jumping.
Ow! That was extraordinary. I don't know if I saw a jump like that from McLean.
Yeah, I got to say that the horse does go very well for him. Horse has his own style.
Smart move in the 5 there, I think, just to think about the time as he's just rounding this corner at 6.
He's close. I think he's still not going to make it. He caught a good one in. Whoa. He needs to reel. Nah, he ain't going to make it.
Just over. Too bad.
That was too bad. Even leaving out the strides in 2 places.
We talked about those combinations being tough. This horse toyed with them today. Beautiful.
Yeah, I would say the double right here on the side by us, he jumped probably better than anybody. Lost his shape for sure at 11B. Jumped in so big and so strong. Got a little awkward jumping out. So we have one of my co-commentators from last week. We have Matt Williams riding Velisca S, owned by Winmont Inc. Matt rides for his home country of Australia. I believe has ridden in 2 Olympic Games, if I'm not mistaken. This is a horse that actually has had a few different riders over the last couple of years. Michael Dorman, I would say, did the most work with this horse and spent the most time on it. And then Michael sort of, I think he's maybe went into retirement, and they gave the horse to Lauren Huff to ride. Then Ben Mayer took over the ride. And last year, I believe Candace rode the horse a little bit as well.
Some of those shows and had some good success.
And then Matt really has taken over, and I would say has had the most success with this horse. Jumped a clear round in Vegas, I believe. Had some nice results out west. Oh, that was a shame. The horse just was getting a little cold and shifted right off the ground.
Just ran out of room there on that front rail, but as you said, Matt has a good feel for this horse. Too bad, 8 faults.
Yeah, it's difficult because at this point the riders know the time is really tight, and I think he was thinking, get right over there and on the 4 faults, but then because of it caused him probably having that rail.
Already well represented in that jump off against the clock. Ken Farrington joins us now. RC had numerous wins on last year, including at Spruce Meadows, Dublin, and top placings in Thermal and New York as well. Ken Farrington next.
And one of the hottest riders on the circuit, Kent Farrington and Yuseco. This is owned by the RCG Farm. Yuseco's won some of the biggest classes in the world. He's made Spruce Meadows home. He wins big classes there just for fun.
Now Ken's at the point with this horse where he just, it's like throwing darts. He selects events that he wants to take this horse into. He knows it well. This horse, as you said, has had top results all over the world, and just strategically planning with these horses. But What a beautiful jumper. And Ken, as you said, is just a deadly weapon. He's focused and hungry, and I think he's, what, number 2 in the world right now? Or
Yeah, and you know, funny, I've known Kent forever. I've watched him. Well, that was a shame. It looked like he
characteristic rail.
Yeah, I mean, he jumped in well. Kent rode him out strong and just cut down on the back rail. That was too bad.
Yeah. I bet Kent was surprised too there a bit, because their winning percentage is very strong when he uses this horse. They tend to be right there.
I did note he had the jump down behind, and you know, nowadays with all the different boots we use behind and whatever, this horse is just going in regular boots. Maybe Kent's, you know, not really pushing the envelope for today, just letting the horse jump a nice round and, you know, maybe change that a bit for Sunday. But that was a nice round. That was unfortunate. Beautiful ridden.
Yeah. And neatly under the time without really hustling.
And Jonathan McRae back on his second horse. This is Aristoteles V, another horse owned by his in-laws, Candy Tribble.
This horse is wearing that shadow roll, that fleece on the nose. And I've always had thoughts on that. You know, what exactly is that? The horse, so the horse doesn't spook down on the ground?
Yeah, I guess supposedly the horse looks down and you put the shadow roll so they can't really look down. I played with it a bit back in the, remember I had that horse Aguila. He went and went all the time as well. He was very spooky.
I also thought if the horse threw its head straight up, it couldn't see the fence, so it had to lower its head to see the jump, because if it elevates and holds its head, it can't see. Because back in the day, Frank and Mary Chapeau used it a lot.
Yeah, back then they used it a lot. You see it.
And then you could ship them in it.
You see it less and less nowadays.
Well ridden. Just touched that one in the front. Two similar rails, both the A element of the in and out, both in front.
Yeah, you know, it's I've just now noticed what's very odd is you see two doubles, both ox are vertical. We have
both right lead.
Both right lead ox are vertical. Seems a little strange. You know, we have a vertical oxer over there, maybe a double of verticals, a double of oxers, but you don't usually see the exact same double in one course. Same question. And here we have Lubov Kochetova riding Urus 2. Lubov had some great results. I think the jump crew hasn't noticed that there's a jump down.
Right in front of that Boston Oxer.
Yeah, now they have stopped the time. They really should retone her and give her all the time she needs. Not that she, I mean, she has 36 seconds. It's not like it's a huge rush, but she picked up on that right away, and the jump crew didn't. Almost look the bow is up on that, no?
Does look a... Okay, she's on her way. That was the 6 right there.
Yeah, I did not count. I looked away for a minute. I was a little concerned with 11A. It looks like maybe the bow might be up.
You know, Lubov, we always say, you know, she continually produces good jumping horses, and her consistency.
She does. Year after year, she shows up here in Palm Beach with the same horses, and then she always shows up with a new one that we've never seen. And, you know, every one of them, horse after horse, they all jump. Just recently sold her. Whoa, she ran down there and tried to do 4, it looked like.
and got away with a light rub in front, but yeah. Really keeping a hold of him through that combination.
Close. Yep, she didn't.
Just over.
But it is 1 for time, 70.85,
One time fault. Right now she's sitting in 12. Horse jumped very well.
We go from Russia to Great Britain next.
And we have the British sensation. We've got Ben Mayer riding Serena, owned by Jane Clark. And Ben, well, again, we talk about sponsors and supporters. Jane has been one of the biggest backers of this sport for many riders. Leslie Burr Lenahan over so many years, Mario Delorier, and now supporting Ben Mayer. She's had so many top horses over the years.
And she's also involved in, I believe it was dressage and driving, and I mean she's just an...
And baseball. Let's not forget
She's
the Hall of Fame.
Sports enthusiast.
Yeah, she
enjoys wintering over here with Jane's horses and enjoying the Florida sunshine, and he's just a class act and nice to see ride every day.
Yeah, I have to say I haven't seen this horse jump in a while. I saw a lot of it last year when they got it, and seems to have grown up and really jumping well now.
Like hit behind there.
That was maybe the perfect time for it to happen, right before this very careful backwards Liverpool. Oh, he still rubbed it behind. That was too bad.
Interesting. He also did the leave out there, just rolled that similar to Connor Swale, who had that same 4 faults. But agreed, this horse jumped real well today.
Yeah, that was a nice round. Again, I think Sunday is the goal, but that was a really, really nice round.
And he did pick up a time fault. Boy, Alan set just right. You know, for the field today. Time, course, it's just been a great class so far.
As we turn our attention to Nick Delajoyo and a horse he joined forces with towards the end of 2015. The 13-year-old mare, Pistoia, Nick Delajoyo, USA.
Here we have Nick Delajoyo riding Pistoia, a horse owned by Turnabout Farm. I believe this horse won the 100,000 at Lake Placid during the summer. Maybe another good result at Tryon or somewhere else, but horse that he sort of just showed up at Lake Placid and stepped right in and went right in the Grand Prix. It wasn't a horse that had been living with him or that he had been spending a lot of time riding. Hooked that hard behind there.
Yeah, behind.
Jumped beautifully through the Longines double.
It just ran out of room. That 4 is really short, and he just had nowheres to put it in. He's got to get it together. His reins are getting a bit disheveled.
Yeah, that was too bad. He did. He ran out of room and made a good effort at A, I have to say, because he got stuffed right up underneath it.
Horse looking a bit strong on his hand here. He's going to have to, this, as McLean was saying, this downhill grade heading home. They tend to maybe a little overcompensating off the front and nick the back.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, we talked about how he got stuffed over here in the 4, but the horse was so strong. You know, maybe the horse drug him where Nick really didn't want to be. It was definitely getting aggressive throughout the whole round. Yeah, we're going to see Ali Wolf again on Curie Z.
And we go next to Ali Wolf, another new combination joining forces last year, a 9-year-old stallion, clearing.
Well, she certainly knows the course. She had that nice clear earlier on her other horse, so, you know, she knows the route and probably should feed off of that.
you know, McLean really touched on earlier about, you know, what goes into this, and not only the owners and the support staff and the grooms and the management, and, you know, he's got Lee McKeever and Erica McKeever that he's had for so many years, and I know Erica right now, she's busy at home tending to the farm there, keeping that going, while Lee McKeever's here with McLean, and I know Erica's missing the Florida circuit this winter, but still so much for her to do at home right now. And that goes to say for really every operation. We've got, you know, you yourself.
Right,
you,
there's a whole arsenal of people and support. And
you've got your group here, and you've got your wife and your sister-in-law at home doing so much. There's so much that's involved in this sport and business industry.
now she's got to sit up a little bit in the one. Really jumping well there through that combination. Woo.
Whoa. Wow, got away with that. She needs to regroup a little.
Okay, time shouldn't be an issue. She's moving pretty well.
No, she made up about 2 seconds at this blue oxer.
Good, now just a little composure and bring it on, but she's feeling it today, Allie. Whoop. Horse really backed up really well off that first front rail there. 2 for 2, great day.
That was a nice run. The horse really responded. The CMJ oxer showed up very, very long out of the turn, and the horse responded unbelievably well. Now we have Orlando, Connor O'Regan. This horse owned by Aaron Walker. Connor's spent a lot of time working for and under Allison Firestone Robitaille. This summer and the indoor circuit was the first time I saw him step into the big classes, and he's been very fortunate. He right off the bat he got a couple of nice horses to ride in the big classes, and seems to be doing quite well.
Just stabbed into that back rail there. Just didn't quite stay up in the air long enough.
Oh, that's 2 in a row we saw do that, and he just stuck with it and went for 4. I think that's the first ride we've seen before. Lubob made an attempt.
He's got to reel it in because he's going to be the fastest 4.
Yeah, he ends up on the 8.
I'm sure Connor will be a little disappointed because he's such a good ride. I know that probably wish he could have had that last combination back as the horse got a little aggressive after he started leaving strides out.
Now we have, for sure, one of our veterans. We've got Leslie Howard riding Gentile Van Spieveld, owned by her husband Peter Howard in the GJ stable. This is the horse that won the Harrisburg Grand Prix back in October. I know Leslie was saying she that was a Grand Prix that
she wanted to win.
She really wanted to win. Had just slipped through her grasp for so many years, and I think she came there to give this horse some mileage, and she ended up winning the class. For sure, Leslie's going to have to be thinking about the time because this is a slow-going horse. This horse is so scopy. The vertical jumping into the double, he just sort of stepped over it. It was just like another canter stride. Just doesn't.
Leslie, you talk about the Ian Miller. I mean, their thirst for the sport, their competitiveness, their fitness, their quest to be the best. I mean, it's just, Leslie's Still got a lot left in the tanks here. She's enjoying it
and fighting. I mean, the way she fought for number 7 and then to land and make the 5 happen to the next jump, she's doing 5 here.
I thought she God.
Yeah, almost got maybe too much on the direct track. When she went direct, the horse sort of lost its way, and she had to pull it back on, and at that point she was at no man's land. The 5 wasn't going to work, and the 6 wasn't going to work. That was too bad, and because of that, she had the time fault. That was a shame.
Because the 5 would have been right up her alley. That was too bad for Leslie.
Yeah, and I think that was her plan. When she landed off, she kind of flopped the reins at him, and the horse just lost its way. That was too bad. Well, again, we have probably our hometown favorite here. We've got Kasinja, ridden by Charlie Jacobs, owned by the CMJ Sport Horse LLC.
That's right. Charlie had the early 4 faults on Flaming Star and then jumped a real nice 4. Very, very solid round. So he gets a chance to come back here and go for the clear with horse number 2.
And Charlie really has he's gone out and he bought some horses. He's backing these older horses up. We saw him on Flaming Star. Now we see him on this one. I wouldn't say this is an old one by any means, but he's went out and bought a very nice, I believe, 9-year-old Kalanta that he showed yesterday, I believe. And he has another one, big black stallion that he bought. Had a little injury, but we'll see that horse back jumping again.
Getting a little tight here. Okay. Okay, Charlie's looking really good now with just these last 2 lines.
That was light. I would say he definitely didn't hammer that jump. Charlie talking to her, giving her the business. He's talking to her.
Set up for the tight one. Now that horse jumped really well today. That was too bad. 2 4 fall.
And it was a light rub. Well, here we have a new combination. We have Ramiro Quintana riding Apicara. It says they've got Ramiro as the owner. I don't think Ramiro's the owner, but anything's possible. This
horse was shown by Aaron Ballard.
Yeah, Aaron Ballard, and a little bit by Keen Wright. He was the owner of this horse. He rode it some, and then he was on the road and sort of gave the ride to Aaron, and it went well. She did the indoor circuit. She did the Royal at Toronto, and then he sort of gave her the horse to show down here last year and then all summer, and now it's a new mount for Ramiro.
I haven't seen Ramiro show this one yet.
I have. He jumped. I think it was. I'm not sure if it was last week or maybe even early this week. Jumped a nice round. No, I think it was the WEF last week. The 150 jumped a very nice 4-fault round.
Well, we keep repeating ourselves, but Ramiro is a very talented rider. I mean, his skills, his smoothness, his accuracy, very talented. Lucky rub in front there.
Yeah, it sure was, because you don't really get away with much of a rub at a delicate skinny like that. Wow, that was impressive, the way the horse jumped that jump. Kind of got there deep, and he really let the horse take its time, and it jumped way up over that oxer.
Just making sure this turns a little neat.
He's definitely time faults.
Nice. Over the time, 72.98. The horse jumped really well.
Yeah, and impressive, because they have not formed a partnership yet. He does not have a relationship with that horse. Maybe ridden it a handful of times, so to come right in and jump, what I'd say a good 150 class and do it that well was impressive.
Very. And I would suspect, Jimmy, with Argentina being qualified for the games, that Ramiro's got to be thinking.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he purchased that horse. I believe that's a horse owned by Mike Smith. I could be mistaken, but I do see Mike Smith on the side over here. He was very excited, and I believe Mike is the owner of that horse. Right, now we have Laura Kraut back again. This is Andretti S, owned by Stars and Stripes. This is a horse that Laura's had for a few years now. Right off the bat, it was very impressive. And then the horse had a little bit of, I wouldn't say disappointing, but maybe rounds that you expect a little more. And I was talking with Laura the other day. The horse had a little bit of problem with its wind. She felt like towards the end of the round, the horse was starting to get tired, and I think they did just a minor surgery on this horse. And I have to say, what I've seen down here so far has just been unbelievable. The horse has been, I believe, clearing about every time I've seen it go. Sometimes, Mark, we joke, but we wish these horses could talk. If they would just,
let you know what's going on.
They have a little injury or a little this or a little that, and we just, it takes so much to figure it out.
You're right, Jimmy. This horse has been jumping fantastic at the start of this year, and just, I think I caused that. I wonder if she was planning 5 before she knocked that down, because those that have had that down have gone in 5.
Although she had that down, I have to say the horse gave a great effort at A. I think she had to ride strong at the CP jump, just the way it showed up. And then I think at that point she just decided to stick with it and do 5. I don't necessarily know if that was the plan, but she caught it so strong at that point, it was less complicated to just do 5. And here we have Venezuelan rider Pablo Barrios riding Antares. We've not seen much of Pablo this winter so far. He has not been showing over at the other facility, at least not in the big classes. So I think this is really his first start. And again, you talked about Ramiro with Argentina possibly going to the Olympic Games. Venezuela has 2 spots. I think Emmanuel Andrade is one to go. So they have a second spot. So I think between Pablo Barrios, Juan Ortiz, they're kind of looking for that.
Evaluating over the next bit, yes. And they got to manage their. Pablo's got a wealth of experience and certainly no stranger to big classes. Yes, with this kind of type of horse, as you always say, Jimmy, the time is always an issue. How to ride up strong, but out. You think you'll roll in 5 and now?
It's funny. Everyone that's done 5 has knocked that CP vertical down. It's happened time and time again.
Whether they were riding for it or not, they seem to always have it. Getting that horse jump very well.
Yeah, it did, and he did a nice job. And again, I don't think the horse has had a lot of starts down here. Next in, we have Just Stella L, Gabrielle Pelchat. I believe this is the cover girl for these events. There was a thing that came out with advertising, and this was the horse and rider on the cover shot for that. Horse I've not seen.
So she's obligated to do well.
Yeah, she needs a good showing here. But this horse, I watched it a little bit week 2, week 1. jumped some nice rounds. This horse had some nice results in Canada. Hard rub at fence 1.
She's moving a bit on that time. Maybe a little wide there. Gave a great effort there out of that combination there.
Sure did. It soared right out over B.
Hard rub on that black vertical down the hill. Now she's got to finish solid here. Good on the reverse Liverpool.
Yeah, because, as McLean said when we brought him over here, there's going to be a few riders that are going to get left out for the Grand Prix. They're taking 40. We've got more than 40 riders here, which I think is great.
Wow, for a great effort on that combination there.
Great for management, great for the Jacobs family that they were so well supported, but unfortunately there's a few riders that are going to sit out the Grand Prix. Now with 3 to go, we've already got nice jump off. We've got few in the jump off, fast riders. Now we see Richard Spooner back again on his second mount. This is Mighty Mouse, also owned by Gerardo Pascal.
I haven't seen Mighty Mouse as much as the Big Red, but I'm owned by the same owner.
Yeah, this horse won the ranking class the other day. Very fast, very fast. And I know Richard, again, that was only a 145 ranking class, but Richard believes that this horse is going to jump the next level. He did 8 strides.
8 strides there.
That's the first one we've seen do 8. It's for sure it's 7, and it's maybe 6. And, maybe this is a horse that doesn't have all the experience, and Richard's just sort of nursing him along here, giving him experience at this height.
Just hung up there a little bit, lost his shape, just reaching for that back rail. Found its way there to the back rail that time. Even threw its legs out a little bit.
Yeah, I have to say, I agree with Richard. This horse does look like it's going to step up and jump the next level. Every once in a while, got her,
instincts were great there.
Yeah, exactly. The horse wants to leave the jumps up. Has a little bit of its own style. Yeah. Lost the front a little bit over the CP vertical, but wants to leave the jumps up. And now we have our German rider, Christian Heineken, riding AGE Clooney. I would say Christian keeps very, very busy. They show all over. I saw him out in Vegas. They were in California. They do a little bit of everything, and I think he's here just for maybe a few weeks, and then I believe they might be headed to Thermal was what I heard, but he definitely shows at a lot of different places.
He's wearing that elastic protection on the sides that just seeing more and more now with a lot of these horses.
Yeah, unfortunately some of these horses are very sensitive with their sides, and you ride them a little bit strong with your leg, they get a mark, and I think he just wants to really take care of that and make sure the horse doesn't get irritated. Again, another kind of slow going type. Time alloved's got to be in the back of his mind. Unfortunately, has the skinny vertical down.
Jumped out of there well. Jumped out real well.
Christian married American rider Aaron Davis just maybe a year or so ago.
Just behind there.
Yeah, that was too bad. The horse jumped a good round. Skinny was just a delicate rub. He almost looked like he landed, he moved up and maybe overdid the 5 to the last jump.
And then maybe shifted left on him. That's a solid round.
So our last one in now, Corey Ondolo, Di Rubano, and Luis Barabin again. We saw him earlier on. This is the rider we talked about, jumped the Pan Am Games for Argentina. This horse last week in the WEF, beautiful clear round. I believe he was first to go in the jump off and ended up with a good piece. He had one down in the jump off, but very, very fast.
They had a really nice effort at number 2.
Yeah, beautiful over 1 and 2. Good technique, follows through, good behind. Wow, little touch on the back row with the front toe, but I think just the hind end was so good, he drove his front end down a little bit. This horse has a great move off the ground. It's so quick, that last step. He's well under the time allowed, I would say. Wow, the hind end really helped him out there. He got buried up under that. Beautiful.
Really nice, clear.
Yeah, that's a horse. That horse jumped a beautiful round. And
so 11 clear for going for the jump off. What an excellent course, great results so far by course designer Alan Wade.
So again, I think we're going to take a little drag break. They're going to come in, freshen up the footing before the jump off, remove a couple of jumps, and we'll be back momentarily with the jump off.
For everyone and exclusive VIP hospitality. Come see why Old Salem is consistently listed by NARD as one of the top shows in North America. Visit OldSalemFarm.net now for prize lists, schedules, and information. For a spring you won't forget, choose the Old Salem Farm Spring Horse Shows.
Got some property to take care of? Let Kubota help you out. Known worldwide as a leading seller of compact tractors and diesel utility vehicles, Kubota has the equipment to help get your work done. With a variety of tractors and a range of horsepower options, Kubota delivers the efficiency, power, and comfort to handle light construction, landscape work, and chores on the farm. Take on your toughest jobs with a Kubota. See your local dealer today. overcoming obstacles, drawing.
What a horse, what a combination, and what a time!
In a region where equestrian sport has been growing at full gallop, a brand new major league, the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American League.
43.83 down with just one to go.
The best human and equine athletes of the sport battling to qualify for the amazing Longines FEI World Cup Jumping Final.
Et il le fait! Oui, pour ton septième! Extraordinaire, quelle finale fantastique! Increíble! Que tiempo! Que caballo! El ganador!
A unique sport, rich in personalities, where human and horse must have a true partnership to succeed, and where men and women share the same podium. An electrifying finish to the Longines season, a truly global final, where the biggest stars of international jumping will fight for the trophy and the massive €1.3 million jackpot.
A world-class performance by a world-class man.
The most exciting equestrian events in 14 outstanding venues across 3 countries, Mexico, the United States, and Canada. Taking the sport across the continent to iconic cities and world-class equestrian locations. 2015 goes down in American sport history with the launch of the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American League. The perfect combination of high-profile sport, family entertainment, and thrilling competition. Kicking off in August across the continent.
Taylor Harris Insurance Services, your equine insurance specialists offering products developed from both the London and US markets. This is knowledgeable equestrians serving equestrians. This is a tradition of excellence. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes from working with our reputable agents and experienced staff. Taylor Harris Insurance Services, trusted providers across all disciplines, raising the bar and setting the standards to meet all of your equine insurance needs.
Paying attention to the smallest detail. Getting to the destination the most efficient way possible. Ensuring all individual elements are working together to drive high performance. And making sure you do it consistently. Being the best comes down to perfect execution. That's not just good show jumping. That's good railroading. We love a sport that rewards precision.
Our philosophy has always been, if we take care of the horse will take care of us.
We're here for all horses.
Our goal is to do what's best for the horse, period.
We have lots of specialists which work together as a team.
Our egos are not important, and we consult with each other, help each other out where needed.
We have the cutting-edge technology that's available today.
Every horse is so important to us. Whatever we do what's best for the horse.
The expertise resides here. It's exciting to see what we've learned in the past 30 years, and it's very exciting to think about where it's going to go in the next 30 years.
While the stage is almost set, the drama and the tension builds as we get ready for this jump off against the clock here. $50,000 in the prize funds. Some of the biggest names in the world of show jumping coming forward here this afternoon. And let's take a quick look at the track that they are going to be facing. We start over fence number 3, the very tropical Oxer jumping down towards the centre of this Grand Prix ring. As we land over that Oxer at 3, it's left-handed down to the first part of the double, the Longines upright, fence 4A. As soon as we land here, thinking about that turn as we come round towards the double in front of the bleachers, the black and whites. Oxer coming in, one non-jumping stride through the middle, and then the upright coming out at 6 speed. Pushing on from here as we head round towards fence number 8. It's right-handed, going as fast as you like, coming down to the very delicate uprights at fence number 8. We roll back, it's round towards fence number 9, the CP with the Liverpool underneath. Then it's down, right-handed on the dog leg to the orange Oxer at fence 10, and round to the final line. The Oxer coming in at 11A, and then we push on down to that World Cup fence, fence number 12, the gallop to the delicate upright to finish. The very, very best of luck to each and every one of them. We get set and we get ready for this jump off against the clock here on day 2 of the Wellington Masters. While the stage is set and we are ready to get underway, and what better way to start than with a combination that rode to victory on the opening day of the inaugural Wellington Masters. It is for the United States of America, McLean Wards and Double H Carlos Zed. First to go.
So here we are back underway for the jump off. Our first rider in, McLean Ward, riding Double H Carlos Z. You know, Mark, you've got enough in the jump off. McLean, a fast rider, but he's really got to think about everyone he's got coming behind him.
Well, you know, as he said, he knows this horse. I think it's a naturally fast horse. I think whether he's in the post position or not, I think he's going to set the mark. You know, try to be as fast as he can, leaving him up. 8 got short on him. Somebody might try a 7 there on a big mover, but sit up. Really good there. Now dash down to what was number 8, the black vertical downhill. Left turn back on the reverse Liverpool. Straight onto the orange Oxer.
Wow, that was fast.
And then, no, he's not done yet.
Oh.
Wow, okay.
I think it's over. I don't see how they're going to catch him unless they leave one out.
It's tight, yeah.
The only way they're going to beat him is doing one less from 1 to 2. I think it's over.
We weren't kidding. I told you he was thinking of trying to win 3 here. So that was a great standard to set. I think McLean's real happy with that, and nothing left to chance either. You know, I mean, he was fast, but there was never a minute where he was extended himself. Well, good thing for Sean. This horse immediately looks much more settled in the arena.
Yeah, Sean's horse looks way more comfortable on this side of the ring now.
You know.
But again, when he finished his last round, he came over here. He let the horse get comfortable with the tent. As he's doing now again, he's really letting the horse get comfortable with this side of the ring.
Now, I think you really have to decide in this jump of, are you going to go out after McLean? I mean, you know, he really set a standard. It's going to be hard to catch that time, let alone leave the fences up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look out in the schooling area to see who's going to catch him, but I think they're riding for second at this point.
And I think, don't tell Richard Spooner that, because I think there's the 8 strides. But again, McLean was able to do that faster, and he was marching right along.
And you're keeping score. What was McLean's time over there? So McLean went in 37.52. And we see Sean going 43.19 with 2 down. So at least we know that now. 37.52 is the time to catch.
2 down. And 9 left to go. It is on to Canada next. A 13-year-old gelding called Dixon.
You know, I was watching Jimmy during the first round. Ian was strategically walking around parts of the arena looking, I think, probably for the jump off and trying to get a little edge here. Obviously, he saw McLean. He knows what's up. As you said, this horse won the Spruce Meadows Masters. Ian, a champion himself. We'll see what his strategy is, but I don't know if he's going to try to let McLean walk away with this. I'm sure he's going to take a go here.
Oh, I'm sure Ian's coming after him. He's winding up here. Looks like he might be thinking 7-1-2.
I wouldn't be surprised as he did a 6 on the first line. There it is, right there. Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
Wow, soared over that. Little rub there, but it stays up.
He's got to let him go here.
I would say he's on McLean. Got to do 5 strides here.
Watch out for the standard.
What?
Something broke Ian's concentration, but
yeah, I think Ian didn't quite get him. Well, that only shows how fast McLean was. He was 2 seconds faster than that, and Ian was going the whole way. I'm not sure when Ian landed off the orange oxer, he looked away.
Something happened on the line. I don't know what occurred, but
you know, unless he was trying to look at his intermediate time or something, or at least his time at that point.
But as you said, it just goes to show you the efficiency of McLean's round and the speed. He just...
Now we have Katie Dinan on Nougat de Valais. Katie's going after her former trainer, McLean Ward. Also a very fast horse. This horse won some great classes. Won a World Cup qualifier. Won the Grand Prix at Old Salem. He's a fast little horse. She's doing 8 1-2. Actually, she got stuck and did 9.
Yep. Again, as you said, this horse is just really getting back into the thick of things. So, you know, but likely with the World Cup qualifiers, you know, and seeing how fast McLean, you got to plan your strategy. And maybe today wasn't the day to try to go after McLean.
She looks more than anything like she's just going for a clear round. I would say she for sure her plan was not to beat McLean today.
You know, again, this horse really looks comfortable, jumping well, Katie riding well. So just finish up down this last line, but got to say the horse is jumping really well. Nice to see back in top form.
Yeah, so she slips into third, I believe. Just a double clear.
Even just to beat Ian's time will be hard. And McLean seems, as you said, Jimmy, how to get that remains to be seen.
Yeah, watching Ian go, McLean, I think, is unbeatable because Ian was on it the whole way. Again, the only thing is when he landed off this orange jump, he maybe lost a fraction of a second as he looked away. And but again, other than doing 8 strides, 1 to 2 in the jump off, McLean, there wasn't a place you could catch him. That's the only.
And as he said, that horse is so fast across the ground in the air. Lauren Tisbo now on Entre Nous. It's going to get tight on her. Stayed up there, right? Yep.
Yeah, the A element of the double came down, but the number 8 vertical stayed up. She's opting for the 6 strides here. That Oxer, which originally 11A, is whoa!
Wow! Far off that last one and dove into a total of 8, 42.91.
Yeah, the last jump just showed up very long for her. Didn't quite get up to it, and horse was good to leave the ground, and Lauren was fighting the whole way. Just didn't have enough to jump up over that. Now we have Allie Wolf with her first mount, and I don't think Allie Wolf really cares that McLean was so fast. I think she's going to go right after him. She's got a lot of experience as a junior and amateur going full tilt.
Yeah, I think Michelle and her have her focused. Be interesting to see. You know, obviously she has 2 in the jump off. She has both going really well. So decide which one you really take a crack at it. Maybe the other one you prep for the World Cup. Because you got to be committed. I don't think she's. And very efficient, neat track over. Okay, rolled B in front. But it looked like her strategy was neat, slick, kind of trying to be somewhere around Ian.
She was trying to be medium, I think. Whoa. Way off to the side there. Almost hit the standard.
And the last jump down again.
The last one as well.
Well, she comes back with a second try, so hopefully she will have gained a little knowledge and they'll come back. Okay, here comes Richard. Now, Richard likes to win. But I don't know, this horse has that handiness, but Richard sure does.
Yeah, I think what the horse is lacking, Richard will make up for it. I'll be curious to see. Richard normally doesn't have schooling on his mind. Right. If he goes in one of these jump offs, he's going.
Well, I believe Richard learned a lot of his trade from Hugo Simone, so he's a competitor. He's a trier and winner. All right, Richard's getting started now. Will he get off on the 7?
He's trying to do a fast 8.
And there's the 8 strides. Again, a very difficult combination over here that's just really been a pitfall. I mean, just tough jumping today. Again, it looked right, Jimmy, like you said, his strategy seemed to be moving, but it almost appears that when the riders, they almost have they conceded that first to McLean. I hate to say that.
I have to say, other than Ian, I have to agree with you. Ian went out there to try to take it from McLean, but other than that, they're sort of settling for that third or
it might
fourth
look
spot.
like that from the schooling. It just might be like, how can you, you know?
Well, especially when you saw Ian go as fast as he did, and he was still 2 seconds off the pace.
Yeah.
Now we have Margie Angle, a very, very fast rider, but this horse has so much hang time or air time. I don't know if he's got the speed to beat McLean.
Well, you know, this one, obviously, she's angling for World Cup on Sunday. And as you said, she's just getting really going with this horse. So I think probably a double clean, moving where you can. But I just can't imagine her really wanting to extend with that kind of pace to... Thought she was thinking 7 for a second.
I thought she was too. The horse, she landed and spurred him, and it bucked. And it looked like she was thinking to do 7, but when the horse bucked, it maybe changed her plan.
Yeah. And again, you know, you really have to stick to what you want to do for this jump off. You know, I mean. With the exception of that fence that he had down, I think Ross has jumped really well today. And
hard rub there. That might really work to her favor come Sunday. He had a hard rub. It stayed in the cups, and the horse doesn't hit many jumps to begin with, so that could really help her for Sunday.
Now, I assume McLean shared some of the information with Maggie, but maybe not all of it. What do you think?
I think no matter how much he shared, I just think it's too hard to duplicate. I think what he did, he's riding a fast horse. He's a fast rider. He's got, you know, as much experience as anybody in the world. He's one of the best riders in the world, and he could share everything with her. I just don't know that it's doable.
You know, but I would say you're right. McLean's such a great strategist as well, probably telling her, you know, how to, you know, I mean, as I say, there's a lot of money in this class, whether she's, you know, second, but she's having a go, though. Maggie is...
Without sounding cocky, I think McLean could probably say, realistically, you can't catch my time. Try to slip in there for...
She doesn't know it, though.
Oh, wow, and missed it. That was incredible.
She's got a nice little rub there. Stay with it. She's playing here. Keep going.
No sense in pulling on the reins at this point. It's all been working out.
Well, a good competitive horse, so she really can take a shot at those verticals. Come on. She's got to go for 5 here. No.
She went for 6.
A very credible double clear, 41.72.
Yeah, that was pretty incredible that mare missed the Longines vertical. She ran up there and chipped in the 8 strides, and horse did an amazing job to get over that.
I mean, a smart ride, you know, between those two champions. You know, she slips into 3rd place, and, you know, great afternoon for Maggie. And again, McLean's right. I mean, McLean was so complimentary of Maggie with her talent, and she really, okay, with the exception of fence 2 and the jump up, really had a super afternoon.
Yeah, and she knew halfway down there she was going to add the 8. It's not like she ran down there just blindly chipping. I think, you know, that horse gets a little stiff in his jaw, you know, doesn't have probably the best mouth. She was pulling on the reins, but at that point, everything was on forward momentum, and the horse just didn't react to the bit at all.
I believe we're waiting for Allie Wolf to come get her horse schooled for her second horse.
Yeah, and Allie was quick. She got right on. I have to say she got right on. They're maybe waiting to see if somebody else is going to move up, which he's walking around the gate. I thought maybe the Argentinian rider was going to move up.
Luis, but there's not much Luis actually would be waiting for. If I were him, I would move up. I mean,
I agree. I mean, it's not like there was only 2 in the jump up for 3. You've seen several. it's either you or Allie to go. I can't imagine just waiting on Allie. He's going to change his plan or his strategy at this point. The horse now is getting cold, in my opinion. I would have just gone in the ring. But we see Allie walking to the gate. She was very prompt. I know management really appreciates that.
Again, Allie talking over with Michelle Grubb with some of the strategy here. I would suspect she'd be trying to think prompt and clean and get a good double clean, a top 4 position, top 5 position, but maybe Michelle will send her. Because if you're going to go after McLean, you have to know your horse really well. And plus, if you're going for the World Cup, that's a little bit of a tough call for most horses to go flat out and then come back.
The hard thing is to try to tell your student or yourself, I can't catch McLean, but I'm going to slip into second or third. To be that slick to do that. So I think once you've given up to the fact that you're going to try to beat McLean, you got to just jump your round and end up with just in the top 6. Sort of let it end up the way it will. Ooh,
Again, horse really tried there.
I think a little bit that's what happens when you either got to make that decision. I'm going for the win, or I'm just going to score. When you're in that in between, that tends to happen sometimes.
Boy, I tell you, this horse jumps really well.
Yeah,
huh?
I agree. It's a beautiful, beautiful jumper. Perfect technique, a real
and
trier.
This isn't her number 1 horse, is it?
She's got a few.
She's got quite a nice
She's got
group.
a few nice ones now. She's got Cassar, her chestnut.
Yes.
I would say that's probably her top horse.
But again, excellent day for Allie Wolf. 2 clear rounds. I mean, she's on her game. A very, very excellent day. Now, this horse jumped so really careful in that first run. He was fantastic to watch. I keep seeing him looking around, but no matter where you look, there's no place to make time.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
thinking about McLean. There's just
he's eyeing up the course, and the fact that he waited to go dead last, maybe he is going to take a stab at him.
He keeps looking around.
Maybe he's trying to decide where the heck did McLean make up that time. Nope.
Kind of reminds me of Libero.
Yeah.
I mean, a rubber ball. His legs snap. I don't think he's going to leave Wellington with this horse. Do you?
Hammered that again.
Right. He changed his rhythm a bit from early on, and then trying to make it up there a bit.
Looks like a super horse, I have to say.
Yes. Really nice.
Well, Mark, I think we were both right. You said earlier McLean was going for 3 wins and for sure back-to-back, and when he went in, I said basically it was over for today. They were riding for second, so we were both right. And let's see, we've got one more class. McLean is really in form. The horse is on form, so great day of show jumping here at the Deer Ridge Farm. Unbelievable run horse show here by Stadium Jumping and the Morrissey family. I'm going to kick it over to the announcer. But again, thank you for joining us here today. Beautiful day of show jumping. I'm Jimmy Toronto with Mark Leone. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Jimmy. Great afternoon.
Well, a fantastic afternoon of international sport here at the Wellington Masters, and of course a whole lot of sport still to come over the next few days. And with our friends at Just World, it's going to be a great family event with the Just World Kids area starting over the next 2 days. So if you've got kids here, do make sure you pay them a visit starting tomorrow. And of course we'll be back tomorrow with some great international jumping here on day 3. But a very important presentation still to come here as we crown our winner this afternoon. And as we look up towards the gateway, we welcome back our top 3, led in by your winner for the second time here, McLean Ward and Double H Carlos Zed. The second place here this afternoon goes to Ian Miller and Dixon. And in third place for the USA, Maggie McAlary and Double H Sisk Van Overis. And with our top 3 assembled, we ask that you please join with us, stand and remove cover as we turn our attention to the video board as we salute our winner with the national anthem. Team USA, McLean Ward, Double H Carlos Zed. Once again, your winner for the USA, McLean Ward, Double H, Carlos Zed. Well, it's our pleasure to welcome forward the presentation party out there this afternoon, consisting of Lou Jacobs, Mike Morrissey, and Tom and Jeannie Tisbo. Tom and Jeannie, of course, joining us today from a fantastic company, and if you are around the showground or in the hospitality area, do make sure you look out for the Savaro coolers, and they've got a mini one out there filled with carrots for our winning horse. And of course, in addition, our winner also receiving a 6-month supply of the Twidle growing supplement. A lot of the athletes are talking about this one. Twidle is a world-renowned range of equine feed supplements produced in Switzerland for top performance horses. But many, many congratulations. Our presentation party now meeting and greeting with their winner, McLean Ward and Double H Carlos Zed for the United States of America. Next to step forward for their picture, our second place rider representing Canada, Ian Miller, Dixon. And then we head into third, and the young rider of the group, Maggie McAlary and Double H Sisk Van Overis for the USA, taking third place. Once again, many congratulations to our presentation party, to all of our athletes. It is time as we salute our winner for the USA, McLean Ward, Double H, Carlos Zed. A winner on our opening day, a winner on day two. McLean Ward and Double H Carlos Sad takes the win. Ian Miller in second with Dixon, and Maggie McAlary in third. Double H Sisk Van Overis. A huge thank you once again to the team from Savaro, the team from Swidel, and of course to all our sponsors here at the 2016 edition of the Wellington Masters. A fantastic afternoon of international sports, and of course that continues throughout the weekends until you will come back and join us tomorrow. But from all the team here at the Wellington Masters, do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
The Old Salem Farm Spring Horse Shows return to Old Salem Farm in North Salem, New York, May 10th through 15th and May 17th through 22nd. Now an FEI 2-star and 3-star rated competition with outstanding competition for everyone and exclusive VIP hospitality. Come see why Old Salem is consistently listed by NARD as one of the top shows in North America. Visit OldSalemFarm.net now for prize lists, schedules, and information. For a spring you won't forget, choose the Old Salem Farm Spring Horse Shows.
Got some property to take care of? Let Kubota help you out. Known worldwide as a leading seller of compact tractors and diesel utility vehicles, Kubota has the equipment to help get your work done. With a variety of tractors and a range of horsepower options, Kubota delivers the efficiency, power, and comfort to handle light construction, landscape work, and chores on the farm. Take on your toughest jobs with a Kubota. See your local dealer today.
Passion, effort, overcoming obstacles, glory.
What a horse, what a combination, and what a time!
In a region where equestrian sport has been growing at full gallop, a brand new major league, the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American League.
43.83 down with just one to go.
The best human and equine athletes of the sport battling to qualify for the amazing Longines FEI World Cup Jumping Final.
Et il le fait! Oui pour qu'un septième! Extraordinaire! Quelle finale fantastique! Increíble! Que tiempo! Que caballo! El ganador!
A unique sport, rich in personalities, where human and horse must have a true partnership to succeed, and where men and women share the same podium. An electrifying finish to the Longines season, a truly global final, where the biggest stars of international jumping will fight for the trophy and a massive €1.3 million jackpot.
A world-class performance by a world-class man.
The most exciting equestrian events in 14 outstanding venues across 3 countries, Mexico, the United States, and Canada. Taking the sport across the continent to iconic cities and world-class equestrian locations. 2015 goes down in American sport history with the launch of the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American League. The perfect combination of high-profile sport, family entertainment, and thrilling competition. Kicking off in August across the continent.
Taylor Harris Insurance Services, your equine insurance specialists offering products developed from both the London and US markets. This is knowledgeable equestrians serving equestrians. This is a tradition of excellence. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes from working with our reputable agents and experienced staff. Taylor Harris Insurance Services, trusted providers across all disciplines, raising the bar and setting the standards to meet all of your equine insurance needs.
Paying attention to the smallest detail. Getting to the destination the most efficient way possible. Ensuring all individual elements are working together to drive high performance. And making sure you do it consistently. Being the best comes down to perfect execution. That's not just good show jumping. That's good railroading. We love a sport that rewards precision.
Our philosophy has always been, if we take care of the horse will take care of us.
We're here for all horses.
Our goal is to do what's best for the horse, period.
And we have lots of specialists which work together as a team.
Our egos are not important, and we consult with each other, help each other out where needed.
We have the cutting-edge technology that's available today.
Every horse is so important to us. Whatever we do what's best for the horse.
The expertise resides here. It's exciting to see what we've learned in the past 30 years, and it's very exciting to think about where it's going to go in the next 30 years.
The Old Salem Farm Spring Horse Shows return to Old Salem Farm in North Salem, New York, May 10th through 15th and May 17th through 22nd. Now an FEI 2-star and 3-star rated competition with outstanding competition for everyone and exclusive VIP hospitality. Come see why Old Salem is consistently listed by NARD as one of the top shows in North America. Visit OldSalemFarm.net now for prize lists, schedules, and information. For a spring you won't forget, choose the Old Salem Farm Spring Horse Shows.
Got some property to take care of? Let Kubota help you out. Known worldwide as a leading seller of compact tractors and diesel utility vehicles, Kubota has the equipment to help get your work done. With a variety of tractors and a range of horsepower options, Kubota delivers the efficiency, power, and comfort to handle light construction, landscape work, and chores on the farm. Take on your toughest jobs with a Kubota. See your local dealer today.
Passion, effort, overcoming obstacles, glory.
What a horse, what a combination, and what a time!
In a region where equestrian sport has been growing at full gallop, a brand new major league the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American League.
43.83 down with just one to go.
The best human and equine athletes of the sport battling to qualify for the amazing Longines FEI World Cup Jumping Final.
Et il le fait! Oui, pour qu'un septième! Extraordinaire, quelle finale fantastique! Increíble! ¡Qué tiempo! ¡Qué caballo! ¡El ganador!
A unique sport, rich in personalities, where human and horse must have a true partnership to succeed, and where men and women share the same podium. An electrifying finish to the Longines season, a truly global final, where the biggest stars of international jumping will fight for the trophy and a massive €1.3 million jackpot.
A world-class performance by a world-class man.
The most exciting equestrian events in 14 outstanding venues across 3 countries, Mexico, the United States, and Canada. Taking the sport across the continent to iconic cities and world-class equestrian locations. 2015 goes down in American sport history with the launch of the Longines FEI World Cup Jumping North American League. The perfect combination of high-profile sport, family entertainment, and thrilling competition. Kicking off in August across the continent.
Taylor Harris Insurance Services, your equine insurance specialists offering products developed from both the London and US markets. This is knowledgeable equestrians serving equestrians. This is a tradition of excellence. Enjoy the peace of mind that comes from working with our reputable agents and experienced staff. Taylor Harris Insurance Services, trusted providers across all disciplines, raising the bar and setting the standards to meet all of your equine insurance needs.
Paying attention to the smallest detail. Getting to the destination the most efficient way possible. Ensuring all individual elements are working together to drive high performance. And making sure you do it consistently. Being the best comes down to perfect execution. That's not just good show jumping. That's good railroading. We love a sport that rewards precision.
Our philosophy has always been, if we take care of the horse will take care of us.
We're here for all horses.
Our goal is to do what's best for the horse, period.
We have lots of specialists which work together as a team.
Our egos are not important, and we consult with each other, help each other out where needed.
We have the cutting-edge technology that's available today.
Every horse is so important to us. Whatever we do what's best for the horse.
The expertise resides here. It's exciting to see what we've learned in the past 30 years, and it's very exciting to think about where it's going to go in the next 30 years.